Good evening, my name is Rosie, and today we are going through the process that I took to build Crescent Rose from the anime Ruby. Did it take me longer than it should have? Absolutely. Did I start off using the wrong materials and ended up having to completely restart the entire process? Absolutely I did. I wasn't ready. Next year's con, I will not be making a big weapon. That is not because of my lack of knowledge, no. It's because having a large object and walking around a tight space filled with a bunch of smelly people is not necessarily the easiest thing. So I followed a tutorial on YouTube, which I'll link in the description below. It looked to be easier than it actually was. I think it was because I just watched the video one time and was like, yeah, that makes total sense. I can do that. Then I went to the PDF that they provided and realized that there were no instructions whatsoever. So I had to figure it out. It was hard, to say the least. I even got out a hand saw, a saw? I don't know what it is. I even got out a saw and I sawed some wood. The person in the tutorial had made this scythe out of cardboard, and I was like, okay, boom, no problem. I can use cardboard. I can use the remaining boxes that I have from like all my computer stuff, and I'll just use a box cutter, no problem. I'll just cut it up. Done. It was so hard. It was so messy. Everything got all over the place.
That's what she said!
I had to like switch out the blade maybe 3 times because by the time I finished maybe like 5 or 6 pieces, the blade got dull because I was cutting so much. So I tossed it all out. It was done. I was finished. Finitoed. That's when I realized Evafoam. Evafoam is gonna save my life. So that's what I did. I went ahead and used Evafoam because I couldn't deal with anything else. So much easier to work with. I was just flying through cutting everything up. Next, I went ahead and started painting everything. I primed everything in white because I was using black and white Evafoam. None of the colors were consistent, therefore I had to paint everything. It took me at least 2 months to paint everything. I didn't have a lot of space to paint, so I went piece by piece, laid it on the ground until eventually it dried, and then I picked everything up, set it into another place, and then started over with the next set of pieces that had to dry. That process took forever. It was fun, don't get me wrong, I enjoyed it. In fact, I even used one of my socks to make like some little detail, you know what I mean? What I'm saying? A little detail here and there, you know? Once everything dried, it was time to assemble, and that was not as bad as I thought it was gonna be. Every piece fit perfectly, and this is the point where I could actually follow the tutorial because I had all the pieces ready. Who knew that I would have to do all this prep before I even put the thing together? An average person would have known that, Rosie. Yeah, I just assembled everything following the tutorial. It was a very simple process of layering certain objects and then gluing them onto other parts and pieces, etc., etc., etc. I built the scythe. It was amazing. It was the best thing I've ever built. There were some bumps and bruises, and it was a little janky, I will say. There was some parts that I was like, oh. But it didn't matter. I was done. I was ready to bring it to Fanexpo, which was where I was able to unleash the power of the mighty scythe, which did not really do much because honestly it was too busy at Fanexpo for anybody to admire what I built. I got like maybe 4 or 5 pictures with some people, but for the most part, we were just all stuffed. So yeah, that was my little process of creating the scythe. Make sure to leave a comment and like and subscribe. Thanks so much for joining, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Bye. Editing Rosie here. You should probably go follow my socials. They're right over here. I think they're over here. Or maybe they're over here. I don't know, they're somewhere on the screen. Just follow them. You should follow them.